Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty enthusiast that loves to talk about everything dealing with beauty and makeup, and today y'all asked for this video and I was like, yes, that's gonna be a good one. We are comparing the new Kosas Revealer foundation to the Allure Best of 2021 winner, LYS Beauty Triple Fix Serum Foundation. So, as with all of my foundation reviews, we will be doing a full day wear test. Of course, I will be showing you what it looks like in flash photography, natural lighting, outside, in the sunlight, all the things, and answering the questions of which one is better and which one is best for you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it, and let's get right into this video. So I have done dedicated reviews on both of these foundations, so I will go ahead and link those for you. I just did a review of this foundation earlier in this week, I think last Sunday or 6 days ago. In that video, I did have the shade 280, and I did receive this from Kosas, and this is in the shade 290. So I was really excited that I was able to have a deeper shade because 280 was slightly lighter than what I felt like was best for my complexion. Okay, so getting into these foundations, Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation has an SPF of 25. It has a total of 36 shades, and it retails for $42, and we get the standard 1 fluid ounce or 30 milliliters of product. So like I said, with the shade 290, this is described for medium deep complexions with subtle olive undertones, and I really do feel this particular shade is much better for my complexion than shade 280. 280 has a description of complexions that are medium tan with warm peach undertones, and while I felt the undertone was great for shade 280, overall it was a little too light. And as a matter of fact, let me get shade 280 so we can do quick swatch comparison so you can see the difference between the two. Here are the swatches of the Kosas foundation. This is shade 280 and this is shade 290. So you can definitely see the differences in the undertone of the two foundations. But like I said, 290 definitely is a shade that works better for my complexion versus 280. So if you're around my complexion, I would say start at least with 290 and work your way slightly deeper. Because 280 and above is definitely gonna be too light. Okay, so getting into some very quick claims. I'm not gonna do like as in-depth of an overview of the foundations because I just reviewed them, but very quickly, with the Kosas foundation, it's gonna offer medium coverage. It's gonna be good for dullness and uneven texture. It will have a natural finish, and it's also going to be a hydrating formula. This brand is a clean brand at Sephora, and I really enjoyed the wear of this foundation. When I first wore it, I didn't put any type of primer underneath it. Did I set it with powder? I don't think I set it with powder either. And it had really good longevity of wear, and it had a very natural, sorta, kinda, slightly demi-matte finish on the skin. I would agree that the coverage is going to be medium, and taking a look at my face now, it just looks very natural on this side, like my skin, but better. I do have some texture on my face, but I feel like the foundation definitely blended very nicely over the texture, over my acne. And I asked my husband which side looked better, and this was before I put any makeup on. I just had both of the foundations on, and he was just like, this side looks smoother. And I was like, I would agree that it just looked very smooth, almost like there's a little bit of like a powder technology that like smooths over the pores, smooths over any type of texture that you would have. So this is really beautiful, and like I said, this shade definitely works better for my skin, so I feel like I can see and appreciate the foundation as a whole a lot better. Now, moving on to LYS Beauty. Now, I have loved this foundation since the day it came out. Huge fan of this foundation. So this is the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. It comes in a total of 35 shades, and for a standard 1 fluid ounce, it retails for $22. I wear the shade TN3, and TN3 is this, no, I wear the shade TN6, and TN6 is described as a honey shade for tan olive skin with neutral undertones. And so getting into some quick high points of this foundation, It's going to be infused with hyaluronic acid. It also claims to have medium coverage. The formulation is vegan. It's good for dullness and uneven texture. And if you didn't know, this brand is Black owned and woman owned. Okay, so this foundation is an Allure Best of 2021 winner for extremely great reason. The coverage is beautiful. The finish is so perfecting and just really complimentary to your skin. So this is another foundation that I would say makes your skin look like your skin, but better. I will admit it took me a few different tries to figure out what shade matches my complexion better. And so this, I think, is a really good shade match for me. It's not like a spot on match in terms of like there's no difference in my skin and the foundation, but it is definitely the best match that I've tried out there. So if you're around my complexion, I would say start at TN6 and then work your way through there. Looking at the finish of the foundation, it is beautiful. Definitely a very hydrating type of foundation. I feel the hydration when I put it on my skin, and I think you also can see the hydration of the foundation when applied to the skin. It's smoothed over my acne very well. I have more texture on this side of my face than I do this side, and I think it just is such a complimentary skin-like foundation. Now, in terms of both of these foundations together, what I noticed right off the back when I first applied them was the tone of the Kosas foundation. I do like, when I say I do like better, I feel like it matches my neck and it matches my actual skin complexion quite well. Like this is a very, very, very good shade match for me. There was no need to blend the foundation down because it really, for the most part, complements my natural complexion. On the LYS Beauty side, we definitely see that this shade is a bit deeper, if I could say, compared to my neck, but nothing that's so astonishing that I feel I need to go and search for another shade. The LYS Beauty is definitely one that has a deeper tone to it, and so swatching it next to Kosas, here's the Kosas foundation in shade 290, and then here's the LYS Beauty foundation in the shade TN6, and so you can see that this shade is definitely deeper than the Kosas is. So, and it looks like it has almost like a reddish hue to it. It's not red in the least bit, but it just looks like it has a bit of a reddish hue. So there is a slight difference in tone of the foundations. I noticed that, like I mentioned earlier, I would agree that the Kosas side, upon like initial application, it definitely looked a little smoother than the LYS Beauty, but I've had these foundations on now for 3 hours, and I would say that the LYS Beauty side definitely looks more hydrated, more moisturized almost than the Kosas side. So the Kosas side looks like my skin. Like I really feel like it looks like my skin. I mean, even when I touch it, it just feels like my skin. There's no stickiness, no tack or anything. The LYS Beauty side feels very natural. It's got the slightest bit of tack, but nothing that I feel like I want to set it. Mind you, let me just put this out there. I put on no primer, so outside of just what I put on my face for my skincare, there's no primer, there's no powder underneath. I also did not set either foundation with powder because I didn't feel like I needed to, and I just wanted to show you all what the foundations look like if you're also someone who doesn't like to set your foundations with powder. Those were the biggest differences that I noticed just right off the back, you know, looking at both of them. Now, taking a look at these foundations in natural lighting, I think both sides look very beautiful. Both sides upon initial application, because that's what you're seeing, both sides look very hydrated. That's something that I really enjoy about both of these foundations. And then taking them into sunlight, the sun kisses your face with both of these foundations. Once again, they really look beautiful on the skin, very complimentary to the skin. And then when taking a picture and using flash photography, once again, both sides look great. And even though the Kosas foundation does have an SPF of 25, we do not see any flashback, and there is a claim with the Kosas foundation that there will be no flashback, and that claim is true. So I think both sides look really pretty. And after 3 hours, let's come in close. After 3 hours, I still feel like both sides are pretty, but I have to admit, I'm kind of leaning more toward the LYS Beauty side, just because you guys know I love dewy foundations, and I feel like the LYS Beauty side just looks supple. I don't even like that word, but that is what that is the word that I feel best describes how my skin looks, even with the texture and things like that. The Kosas side is really beautiful, and I think what I take away from the Kosas side is that blurred effect, especially over the pores. So like on the Kosas side, because the foundation is a little more, I don't want to say dewy, just a little more hydrated, I feel like you can see my pores ever so slightly more than what you can see on this Kosas side. However, if you like a foundation with more hydration and you want to see the hydration, LYS is giving that to me. Both foundations claim to be hydrating. Both claim to have hydrating formulas. And I will tell you, both of them feel hydrating on the skin. But so far, the LYS is looking hydrated on the skin compared to Kosas. So I'm gonna go about my day, finish doing what I need to do, and we will see what these foundations look like at the end of the day. I will tell you who I think these foundations are most suited for and all of that good stuff. So stay tuned for all of that, and I'll see you at the end of the day. Okay guys, I am back. It is the end of the day. I have had both of these foundations on for over 9 hours. And now I have to tell y'all which one I think looks better. And I am going to be straight up and honest, I literally cannot even. Anywho, let's come in close and see what we're looking like. Okay, so remember Kosas is on this side of the face, and then we have LYS on this side of the face. And guys, okay, so I do feel like I have some wearing away of foundation on my chin, which I always touch on my chin, so that is typically where foundation wears first, so no surprise there. But everywhere else, I feel like the coverage is still really good. I did wear my mask today, not for a very long time, but I did take it off and put it on a couple times, and I feel like we see just like a little bit of wearing away of some of my blush there and some of the blush here, and that's coming from the mask, and I do see some wearing away on my nose, so that's that. But everywhere else that we see foundation, I think both sides look really nice. I would say that I did notice that, like I mentioned earlier, I felt like the Kosas side looked a little more blurring across my pores, and I would still agree to that, because I feel like the Kosas side looks like it has more of like a powdery finish, but in like a good way. The LYS side still, in my opinion, looks more hydrated. Like this side looks very natural, very skin-like, but we see just a little bit of a glow that looks more like healthy, hydrated skin versus like dewy, oily skin. So if I had to choose which side I like better, I can't. I'm gonna tell you what I like, and then you all tell me down in the comment section which side looks better. I think for like blurring of the pores, things like that, the Kosas side looks better in my opinion than the LYS side. In terms of the shade, I think the shade of the Kosas side matches my neck better than the shade of the LYS side, but at the same time, I'm looking at myself in a mirror, so if I look off-center, that's what I'm doing. I still feel like the LYS side looks really nice, but I like the hydrated look of the LYS side better than the look of the Kosas side. But in terms of like, I can't say, I mean, if I had to choose, I have to choose. If I had to choose, I would probably choose the LYS side if I had to choose. Oh, why did y'all make me do this? But at the same time, y'all, this Kosas side looks really nice. Really, really nice. So what I would say, I still want to hear what you all think. Leave it down in the comment section, because I'm still quite torn. Because I really do like both sides. I think both sides held up really nicely for a full day's worth of wear, especially because I didn't set these. So remember, this is on unset skin that these foundations have held up like this. So I know for a fact I can get longer wear if I were to powder the foundation. So do take that into account, that we do see some fading of my blush, but I did not set the skin. So keep that in mind. Now, in terms of your preferences and things like that, if you have drier skin, Gabe Loves Makeup, he has extremely dry skin, and he said that this was a no for him. It was just way too matte, a little too dry for his preferences and for his dry skin. So I was glad for him. I was glad he shared that, because in my initial review, I said if you had dry skin, depending on how dry your skin is, this may not be your cup of tea. And so he kind of confirmed that. So if you do have dry skin, but it's not like Sahara Desert dry, maybe go on with your hydrating primer and you can make this work. If you have normal skin, combination oily and oily skin, I really think you could very much enjoy it, because this is so, like, I can't get over how skin like this is. And like touching my face, I legit don't feel like there's anything on my face at all. And it's just kind of mind-blowing because I did not set this foundation. So I do feel like, you know, if you have normal skin, you probably don't need to set this. You definitely don't need to set this if you have drier skin. Combination oily, you're probably gonna wanna set it, but I don't see you needing to like blot every couple of hours, because this is gonna be very natural like on the skin. So that's that. And then with LYS, I feel like this is one of those foundations that really work for all skin types. And I think if you have drier skin or normal skin, you will really enjoy this, because that's what I love most about this foundation. It is so hydrating on the skin, and it looks hydrating on the skin, yet it has great coverage. Like even across my bumps here, I still see more coverage than I see redness. So great solid medium coverage, looks very hydrated on the skin, and it looks beautiful. If you have combination oily skin, you're definitely gonna wanna go on with your mattifying primers, of course your powders, and if you have extremely oily skin, I can see you maybe thinking this might be a little too dewy for you, simply because you just have extremely oily skin. But there's so many people I know that have so many different types of skin that still love this foundation. So I would say give it a try, because you really might enjoy it, and it may not be as oily or dewy as you think. Because like I said, this one still feels very skin light, slightly more tacky than the Kosas side. But once again, I did not set my face, and you guys can let me know down below, but I don't think my face on this side looks oily or dewy, or, you know, anything that would imply that if you have oily skin, this is gonna just be way too much for you. So I would suggest giving it a try. So I think both of these foundations are definitely ones to look into if you are interested in them. If you really prefer to shop from cleaner brands, both of these brands are clean at Sephora, so they aren't gonna have those extra additives that are not really good for our skin. And I think it really just comes down to skin type with these two, and price point. The LYS is cheaper than the Kosas, but like I said, I think the Kosas is gonna work better for people who have normal, combination, and oily. I think LYS is gonna work better for people who have probably combo, normal, and dry. Maybe oily. If you have oily skin and you love the LYS foundation, please leave that down in the comment section so we can confirm, you know, which one worked for you. And if you have drier skin and you love the Kosas foundation, leave that down in the comment section. Let us know how you like to wear it, so that if someone else has drier skin but they want to give it a try, they'll be able to know what to do with it to make it work for them. And guys, that's it. I really hope that you enjoyed this foundation review. You all did ask for me to compare the Kosas foundation also to the NARS light reflecting foundation, and if I'm being honest, I don't know if that's a fair comparison, because the light reflecting is much more of like a hydrated, not dewy, but very light reflective foundation. But if you guys want to see a comparison, let me know. Leave it down in the comment section, because you all know I am here to meet all of your needs, okay? So if you want to see a comparison of that, let me know down below. But I really enjoyed seeing these side by side. I think this was a really good showdown, and I'm very shocked and pleased by both of these. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.